we do have our pivot line. And look at our pivot line on Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin, again, hammering on the pivot line, but so far being rejected. You need to see Bitcoin get above this level to have any sort of big move up. If it can confirm above this, again, and I've talked about this with you guys before, you should go up here, okay? But it must confirm above. Don't get fooled by the institutional money that may want to just push it up briefly, getting you to go long or stopping out of a short and then reversing it back to the downside. But if it can confirm here, likely upside would follow.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
We have here, you can see, first of all, look at the red over here in the mega caps. Huge red. We've got NVIDIA down almost 4%, Apple down 1%, Microsoft down over 2%, Google down 1%. Meta is also taking a hit, so a lot of heavy selling. Amazon right here down 2.3%, but nonetheless, a lot of red in technology. Look at over here, though. In financials, that's actually not too bad. A lot of green and gray, which means essentially unchanged to slightly positive. Healthcare, you can see some red, but a lot of gray there as well. So there are areas like energy today that are seeing money flow coming out of technology and moving in. This is very normal. All right, when you have a market that's had a big run, usually money doesn't run out of the market entirely. It rotates, right? It's only at the end of moves when everyone's panicking that it runs out of everything. And this is, again, we're seeing more of a rotation into certain names, but the stocks that control the market, like NVIDIA, that's why the markets are taking a beating today, because those are in control. Taking a look over here, Dow Jones Industrial Average down 230 points. NASDAQ getting walloped here, down 1.7% or 300 points. The S&P 500 down 56 points or 1%. Oil is up on the day. So again, oil had been in a deep decline many, many days in a row, getting a small technical bounce today. And gold is also going down with Bitcoin. Now, not big moves there, right? Bitcoin and gold down about 1%, 1.5%. Not huge moves whatsoever. But nonetheless, again, big sell-off today in the tech sector. NVIDIA leading the charge after, in all fairness, a 45% rally off of lows from about 2.5 weeks ago.
This weekend, Bitcoin's price could see significant shifts due to trading volume, funding rates, and open interest. Understanding these factors may help anticipate and respond to market movements. Bitcoin has formed a golden cross on its price chart, signaling the potential for a major price surge. This bullish pattern could push BTC toward a new all-time high, ATH, of $80,000.
Today's what you call a reversal engulfing candle on the daily chart. Now, this is the intraday 10 minutes, so you're not going to see it yet. But what we can see here is clearly we opened above yesterday's highs, and we sold off all day long. In fact, we're essentially right at the lows of the day into the end of the day here. All right, now if we flip over to the daily chart on this, this is where it shows that reversal engulfing, right? In fact, technically, this isn't fully reversal engulfing because as of now, we won't close below the absolute low of this candle. But either way, if you actually look at the NASDAQ is a reversal engulfing candle. But look at the rally up, and now it starts to see some selling. Now, you could say that this is just one day. You would be correct. It's only one down day after a massive move to the upside. But again, as I've described to you guys, the gasoline chart, the oil chart, those are signals that the economy is not in good shape. And then you throw in the Fed minutes from yesterday where they basically said, yeah, we were even thinking about cutting in July. Wait a minute. You were thinking about cutting in July? Well, if things are fine, if we're going to have a soft landing or no landing, why were you thinking about cutting then and then going to cut now and going to cut multiple times the rest of the year? In fact, the markets are pricing in something like 6 rate cuts into early next year, maybe even 8. If that's the case, how is that a soft landing scenario, right? I mean, just essentially us as traders and investors, we have to just do logic. Logic is really helpful here. And that's not logical to think that everything's going to be fine if they're going to have to cut that much. So something is amiss here. And I'm a big believer that if you look at oil is a good indicator that something is wrong in the economy. All right, in any case, Big sell-off day on the S&P 500. If we flip over to the NASDAQ 100 real quickly, this is where you see that reversal engulfing candle today, guys. And again, you can see we opened above the previous candle, and we are going to definitely close below that candle to the downside. Gold pulling back just a little bit, but in all fairness, it's had such a run, that's fine. A little bit of a retrace here. I do think gold has a big move tomorrow on Jerome Powell's comments. Silver today, same kind of deal. Little bit of a pullback on silver. It is retesting a key level of support right here. So let's watch and see. Is it able to hold and move back up and head towards 31? Or is it going to come back in and head back down into this zone here? Lastly, just quickly, oil. We'll take a look at that. Excuse me. See what we got there. So oil, again, we talked about a bounce on oil, and it is bouncing. Notice the technical trend line right down here. Pierced the line, getting a small bounce. This is my expectation for price action. You have, anytime you get a full reversal here, a lot of times what you'll do the 100% reversal, you'll get a small bounce like that, and then my guess is that's where you're headed. So I do think you're going to get a small bounce, maybe even a little bit of a bounce tomorrow, but be aware that most likely, especially based on the macro signals, oil is going to go lower. And again, that's something that's been telling us to be cautious on this rally over the last few days, the fact that oil has now reversed that entire move.
Crypto exchange Binance plans to hire 1,000 new employees this year, primarily for compliance roles, as regulatory spending exceeds $200 million. CEO Richard Teng highlighted the company's commitment to bolstering its compliance operations amid increased regulatory scrutiny and ongoing legal challenges. China and Russia solidified their cooperation in currency finance and within the BRICS framework, following a meeting between Chinese Premier Li Qiang and Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin. They committed to local currency use, payment infrastructure, and mutual investments, while also advancing collaboration in artificial intelligence, sustainable development, and global governance. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell expressed confidence in the central bank's progress in reducing inflation, suggesting that rate cuts may be on the horizon. Speaking at the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium, Powell emphasized the Fed's commitment to achieving its 2% inflation target while maintaining a strong labor market. The United States is urging countries to collaborate on the responsible use of artificial intelligence (AI) in military applications. A senior State Department official, Mallory Stewart, emphasized the need for countries to agree on AI guidelines that align with international laws. Concerns about the potential negative consequences of AI in military applications, such as prolonged conflicts and misinformation, have prompted these discussions. The U.S. is seeking input from other countries to minimize these risks and ensure AI is used ethically and effectively. The Indian government, through a panel headed by the Secretary of the Department of Economic Affairs (DEA), is expected to release a consultation paper on cryptocurrency regulations. The paper, scheduled for release between September and October 2024, will seek input from stakeholders to gather feedback on affected regulation. India is emphasizing the importance of international consensus in shaping its policy. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.